maybe I should try that because he was doing this with his gloves. And it's like, dude, there's probably 3, like 4 things you need to get right in a throw. The rest can kind of stylistically look different from guy to guy.
Those are the things that I see athletes struggle with. Athletes that want to hop from program to program out, consistently. Like you tell them something, hey, we're working on this. We need to give this 5-6 months, actually sell out for this specific thing. And they try it out for a couple of weeks and like, it's not working. We want something else. It was like, well, like I've mentioned, we know where we need to get to, but how you get there is completely different because we need to understand like what your body is capable of doing within the confines of the throw.
Yeah, I think the beauty of being with a coach for a really long time is that you guys are generally going to make some mistakes together. Even if you have a pretty good idea of what needs to happen, you still have those reps together, knowing what did work, what didn't work with that specific guy. Whereas if you're hopping from program to program, you're probably going to get a lot of those mistakes to occur with the different people. And so it might take a little bit longer instead of, hey, we did this the first year that we worked together. This didn't work. So let's do this other thing that, oh, this does work.
Yeah.
So we know that we can continue to hammer it home. And you mentioned it with yourself, just standing in front of a radar gun and throwing the ball and going, oh, this is something that I should keep doing because it went up 3 miles an hour. I think the radar feedback part of it is super important too, just because you can kind of experiment with those things and see that this works and then continue to compound those things that work together over time. And so if you have a coach helping you along that over a long period of time, then you guys can work together to make sure that you're continuing to do those good things over and over again.
Absolutely.
And helping you stay, from the coach perspective, like you're saying, like helping you stay focused on what matters. I think the like common theme between all 3 of us is once we got here, we learned what makes a good throw good. And then we trained that, right? There's like, I don't know, a million different things you can look at between all different deliveries. Should I have my glove this way or that way? How high? What should I do with my back foot, my leg, my which way I'm looking? All these things, right? When in reality, there's probably 3, like 4 things you need to get right in a throw. The rest can kind of stylistically look different from guy to guy, and you're going to be able to kind of sequence things fine, right? And so I think, guys, athletes who are always constantly trying to just be a little bit better to get to the next level, you get a guy from 92 to 95 and he's like, if I was just 98, and maybe I saw this guy throw 98 and maybe I should try that because he was doing this with his gloves. And it's like, dude, we're on the road, right? We're on the way there. We just need to keep focusing on what we're focusing on, stay simple with our approach to things and trust the process, and we'll make those gains. So from guys that are watching us trying to get something out of it, it's really just kind of trusting that like we can really overcomplicate things in our mind. And I think for all of us, once we simplified it, stuck to a process, that's when we saw big jumps, big gains.
That's what I always tell guys when I'm coaching them is I've already made all the mistakes. So let me make the mistakes when I was a player and help you accelerate that and get to the outcomes quicker than it took for me, because I try to get better at nutrition. I try to get better at strength training. I try to get better at throwing with some coaches on my own, all that kind of stuff. But it takes me 3 years to figure out nutrition. Whereas if you just do the right things immediately, then you start to get those results quicker.
Yeah, I think there's also value in us doing the thing itself. Like sometimes I tell coaches, hey, you should be training as well. You should be tinkering with stuff because it gives us a better idea to what to give the player. Like
skin in the game.
Exactly. It speeds it up so much faster. Like I believe your cueing, your plans could be really good, but if you feel it, you've done it yourself, now your cueing is going to be 10 times better, right? And now it makes the progress with your athletes a lot faster. I've noticed that the harder I've thrown, the faster progress I get with my athletes because now I know, all right, this is not it. This is the feeling you're looking for. Let's find you a way to get that. Let's constrain your body in a way to get you there faster because I've gone through it myself already. So super valuable. So, and then we have scenarios like, for example, I have athletes that I work with for a year plus, and we've basically worked on one single thing, right, for the entire year. And it's monotonous, but it's just like the consistency of working on the same thing. Like, hey, it's getting better. Let's continue on this track. Or, hey, it's not getting better. let's pivot, let's try something else. But the main focus is still the main focus. So just telling athletes to have faith that we're working on is the right thing. And based on what you were saying, Zach, with guys looking at things or like, oh, the glove this way or my head or whatever. Like I have athletes that always tell me, I saw this on social media. What do you think? And I just bring out 6 different guys that all throw a 90 plus, but they all look different. And we go like, hey, look, they all have different aims with the glove, but they all get to this specific point at front foot strike. So this is what really matters. So I don't really care where you do with your glove or with your head, as long as when you land is in this position. So we have to find a way to get you to be comfortable so you have the good right feel. But at the end of the day, obey by what actually works.
Yeah, like you're saying with the athletes doing something over and over and over again, that's exactly what I did before the velo off. Is I was playing catch with one of my guys who had an issue getting early to flip up, and so we just went through a constraints program, and I just threw exactly out of those constraints as he was the entire time. And so it was reps over, for me, 2 months of just continuously doing the right thing over and over again. So by the time I get on the mound, I'm not thinking about anything that I need to do, because I've put in so many reps and I've done the right thing so many times that I can just trust the patterns that I've been doing and just be free flowing and throw the ball hard through the target.